Ed, day 4 brings an end to the 2021 festival. Of course, the feature race, the Wellchild Gold Cup, and what a Gold Cup it was. But two people dominating the headlines once again, Henry de Bromhead and Rachael Blackmore. What a festival she's had. I mean, there just aren't enough words to describe what she's done.
Run out of superlatives, really, for the pair of them. For Henry de Bromhead to come here and win a champion hurdle, champion chase, and Gold Cup, the holy trinity of Cheltenham, as they call it, is phenomenal. We know all about Rachael, and she'll be kicking herself from that Gold Cup, you know. As Ruby said, yes, she's made history left, right, and centre this week, but that's the one that got away. And you know what these jockeys are like. She'll be kicking herself this evening with Aplutar. But I thought Manila Indo was just idling on the run, and I thought he had plenty in hand. A fascinating tactical race with what happened with Album Photo. And listen, the Brits have been absolutely blown out of the water, left, right, and centre this week. And it's going to be a few difficult weeks ahead, because there'll be an inquest and a steward's inquiry as to what's happened, what is happening with British racing right now. Why have Ireland got all these good horses? And there's going to be, in contrast, the most almighty celebration for the Irish. They have been brilliant, and they've made this festival, Dom. Being here has been so depressing and sad, but those Irish over the other side of the racecourse have done everything they can to lift things. And for them to have all clubbed together to raise €25,000 to give to Wellchild just shows you the class of that lot, with Barbara White and Jennifer Walsh organising everything. Jennifer Hughes played a huge part, and I can't thank them enough. I cannot thank them enough for what they've done for obviously my charity Wellchild, but also for this festival. It's all about Ireland, Dom, I'm afraid.
That's amazing. You're right. I saw them all up the finishing straight, cheering and
everything. They did their best to lift the festival, which was a pretty difficult task, to be honest, but fair play to them, fair play.
Just quickly finishing off on Rachael Blackmore then, let's quickly take a look at how she's written herself into the Cheltenham history books. First female jockey to win top jockey, first female to win top jockey at Cheltenham Festival, first female to win the champion hurdle, the second most winners at a festival, obviously she's second behind Ruby Walsh there, she's got 6 winners, and the most successful female jockey in Cheltenham history, and that is one long history. She's done incredible things for the sport.
She has, but as Ruby said, the one thing we should drop probably is the word female, because she's just a great jockey now. And she has been, you know, I don't think I've used that word once this week. I certainly tried not to. She's just a great jockey, as the boys said. I mean, for her last night, described as the greatest jockey in the weighing room right now. Hopefully that means the world to her. I'll tell you a story that sums her up, Dom. That last race yesterday, just after I spoke to you, she took a nasty fall. And a young jockey called Harry Bannister took a nasty fall. And I'm friends with his girlfriend, who used to work at the BHA. So she messaged me saying, could you find out how Harry is? And I said, sure. So I ran over to the weighing room, and there, the first person I bumped into was Rachael Blackmore. You can imagine everyone wanted to speak to Rachael Blackmore. I said, Rachael, you couldn't do me a favor, could you? And find out how Harry is. And she sprinted with all the radio and TV chasing her. She sprinted to go and ask one of the valets how Harry Bannister was. That's the class of this, the person we're talking about here. She's just ace. She's just ace. I can't speak in more glowing terms about her in and out of the saddle. Just brilliant for this sport, and she's rescued it this week. Sir Anthony McCoy said it. She's changed the face of racing from where we were only a few days ago to where we are now.
Of course, you mentioned there she came so close to a Gold Cup win. But let's talk about Henry de Bromhead. It was, of course, an incredible Wellchild Gold Cup this year. But what does that mean to Henry de Bromhead?
I think it's just, all the winners. He's had to suffer with the Gold Cup before. He lost Sizing John to the Harringtons, who then he had to watch win a Gold Cup. That would have hurt. That would have hurt really badly. How proud he must have been to see his 2 horses, a 1-2 in a Gold Cup, is phenomenal. But also have trained, put the kettle on for a champion chase and train the champion hurdle winner, Honeysuckle, on Tuesday. At a festival where all we were talking about was Willie Mullins coming into it. Just hats off to him. And what's more, I talk about Rachael Blackmore being a classy person. Henry de Bromhead is just the nicest man in the world. Charming, laid back, but a brilliant trainer at the same time, and a real competitor too.
Lovely. Ed, I know you've got a lot on this evening, so we will let you go quickly, but sum up the festival for us. What has this week meant to you and to the world of racing?
To me, I've been in the line of fire recently, as you can imagine, for the sport, having to cover all these different stories. Obviously, the fallout from Gordon Elliott's saga, which we had to front up about. And this week I needed to front up because, as I said to you earlier in the week, every story was about Cheltenham last year. One major news channel calling Cheltenham the super spreader. And we fronted up to that. It didn't go down well with some, but for the big audience, I kept saying it, didn't I? Mainstream audience, it was a very important thing to do. And the festival, I know people don't like me saying to it, but it came under a big cloud. You know, I front up on ITV, and yet every question I got asked coming into this was about last year and about Gordon Elliott. And that seems like it was only 4 days ago. It seems like weeks ago now, because the racing, Cheltenham, Rachael Blackmore has taken us to a totally and utterly different place. And I've annoyed people saying that, but you can hear it from other people. Sir Anthony McCoy today. And it's true. And it's made my life much easier, which is great from a personal point of view. But for the sport needed a great Cheltenham Festival. I thought the Cheltenham Festival was the worst timing it could possibly be this year. How wrong I was. The sport needed a great festival more than it's ever needed a great festival before. And it delivered. And in fact, it delivered big time. That is 4 days of sensational sport.
Amazing. Well, Ed, thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking to you this week. Really enjoyed it. And fingers crossed next year we can be there together.